What is going on, Jets Nation? This is Richie, and I got to give you guys my thoughts. I was just live for a half hour to talk about how Aaron Rodgers is not playing this season, but I think there's something more important about the news today besides the fact that Aaron isn't playing this year, which felt like a lost cause, especially after that 30-0 dominance by the Dolphins over the Jets. We knew that he was not returning unless the Jets were mathematically somehow alive for the playoffs, so it's not shocking news. But the more important situation I got to talk about is definitely him being all in with these New York Jets, telling us that he believes in Robert Saleh. He believes in Nathaniel Hackett still. He believes in Joe Douglas. And he has committed to these New York Jets for the next 2 seasons. He was asked, is next year your last dance? Is that going to be your final year in the NFL? He said, no, I feel like I have 2 years left with the Jets. When he came to the Jets, he wanted to be here for 2 seasons, and he does not feel like this year counts as a year in his mind. He expects himself to play into his 40s, play a 40-year-old season, play even a 41-year-old season, which would be a 2025, believe it or not. So definitely want to give you guys my thoughts of that because it kind of gives us as Jets fans some reason to just like, okay, we have an idea of what the future is going to hold just with knowing Aaron Rodgers is returning. Now, the first thing is that, and by the way, we all knew he was returning, but the 2-year commitment is a little bigger deal than just a 1-year commitment. But the elephant in the room is he backed up the 3 people that most Jets fans want out of here. He defended Joe Douglas. He said that he feels like he built a great team, the roster. He went on to talk about each individual player on the defense, that they're all returning. He talked about the bright spots of the offense and said they need to reload this offseason. And he said a lot of great things about Joe Douglas. He went on to say and defend Robert Saleh, that he believes that he is a fantastic coach, I believe is the word he used. Said all the things that, that we all believe Saleh was supposed to be good at, but Rodgers still believes in that. And of course, he's going to defend his guy and Nathaniel Hackett. Now, it just feels like, right now we're in this situation, coming off a 30-0 embarrassing loss to a division rival, the Miami Dolphins. And us Jets fans are emotional. We want answers. We want to quickly just rip it all down. But the reality is this, folks. We put all our eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket. The whole offseason was hyped around the pairing of Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers. And what I mean by that pairing is a Robert Saleh defense and an Aaron Rodgers-led offense, right? We all know as Jets fans, don't let the, outside rival fan base affect the reality of the truth that this Jets defense is good enough to take this team far if they just had a competent offense. So the one thing that we know about Robert Saleh is he can coach a hell of a defense. He can build one of the top defenses in the league, and that this defense has talent across the board on all 3 levels. And they deserve a winner. And they deserve a quarterback that knows what they're doing. And it seems like the Jets front office, and especially the Jets owners, want to give Aaron Rodgers an opportunity to play with his coaching staff. Give, more importantly, Robert Saleh an opportunity to have Aaron Rodgers out there. And I know that right now, we're all emotional. We want changes. We want the immediate fire everybody. But the reality is the Jets are financially committed to Aaron Rodgers. They pushed his deal back, and it's just not realistic to go out there and get new coaches for Aaron Rodgers. If you want Aaron Rodgers to be the quarterback next year, you got to swallow the bullet that, unfortunately, you got to keep the same coaching staff. And I'm not sitting here trying to tell you guys that I believe that Robert Saleh should have any of us convinced, myself included, that he knows what he's doing as a head coach, because this is year 3 and you still do not have a winning season underneath your belt. Last year, 6-game losing streak. This year, losing 6 of the last 7 following the bye. There's no reason for us to believe in Robert Saleh as a head coach to be a winner. So that's really my standpoint on this. I'm not trying to tell you guys that we should listen to Aaron and say, yeah, he thinks Robert Saleh is this excellent head coach. We should too. I'm more of, I got to believe it before I can see it before I can believe it is the word I was trying to say. So we'd have to wait and see. Joe Douglas as well. He has built a fantastic defense, but on offense, he did not prioritize the backup quarterback position this year. It's hard for me, and I know some people are ridiculing him on the offensive line, and obviously there's someone that needs to be blamed, but I still just hope that Joe Douglas can build an offensive line that can stay healthy. I mean, we've seen a carousel at offensive line. Aaron Rodgers was talking about it, that we need to stay healthy. He was saying that on the Pat McAfee Show. AVT, the best offensive lineman done for the year. Joe Tippmann, who's a bright spot, who could potentially be the starting center for the next, hopefully, 4 to 5 years, if not more. Mekhi Becton's potentially walking. We have a top pick that we can go out there and get a franchise left tackle if we want to, and Joe Alt from Notre Dame is a guy that I really love. So I just want to see Joe Douglas build an offensive line that can stay healthy. And there's a lot of other things we can say about Joe Douglas's tenure that's not been perfect. The first one is the obvious. Drafting Zach Wilson at number 2 overall pick is always going to be on his resume, right? You can talk about the holes on the offense across the board. You could talk about the lack of depth at the offensive line if you really want to, even though that you can't prepare for it to play 15 to 16 different offensive linemen if you're any NFL GM, in my opinion. And, you know, the signing of Allen Lazard was a bust. The signing of Lincoln Tomlinson was a bust. You know, there's a lot of busts on Joe Douglas's resume on offense. But there's not a lot of busts on Joe Douglas's resume building the defense. And I think a lot of that has to do with the coaches, right? The Jets coaching staff on offense is a gigantic question mark. And the only person that I think that can save the Jets offensive coaching staff with Nathaniel Hackett is the obvious answer of Aaron Rodgers. So it's going to be a wait and see. Just remember all the hype that we had in the offseason last year, and it all got ripped away from us in 4 plays. It would be a completely different conversation that we're having right now is if the Jets are 5-9 while Aaron Rodgers played all season, and Aaron Rodgers did not play well, and the offense stunk with Hackett and Rodgers together. We'd be having a completely different conversation right now, but the reality is we don't know. There's a huge unknown cloud around the New York Jets because we don't know what Aaron Rodgers in this offense would look like. So now we have to wait and see. The owners want to run it back and give Saleh an opportunity with a healthy Aaron Rodgers and to reload and build more around Aaron Rodgers because I'll tell you this, they're going to be aggressive this offseason because let me tell you this one last thing. This Jets team, and it's really sad to say this, we're in a win-now period, and we're not winning right now. That's the sad truth. We are in a win-now period because we have so much young talent on this team on rookie contracts, and we have a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers at the end of his career. He goes down. The season's a wash. So we are in a win-now period for the next year and then the year after that. So there's no rebuild that's going to happen, which is a big reason why the Jets don't want to blow up the front office and blow up the coaching staff. They're not in a rebuild mode. That's a rebuild move to let's focus on the future. Let's blow it all up and get a new coaching staff, new regime in. The Jets strongly still believe in the firepower upstairs. Aaron Rodgers believes in it. He genuinely does. So the Jets are going to run it back and try to win and build around this offense and try to take advantage of the young talent of Garrett, Sauce, Brees, Jermaine, all those young studs that we have on this team. The extension of Quinnen Williams, the extension of Quincy Williams, CJ Mosley coming back, DJ Reed under contract another year. There's a lot of exciting pieces to this team, and they just got to figure it out. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is that missing piece, but unfortunately, we shall see. So that's my thoughts of Aaron Rodgers' comments on the Pat McAfee Show today. Definitely had a lot to break down. Would love to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comment section. Definitely going to have some varying opinions, I'm sure, of all you guys, butting heads in the comments, which is what YouTube is all about. So please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're at 21.5K subs. The goal is 22K by the end of the year, the end of the season, which will be a lot of fun. So I appreciate all you guys for all the continuous support here on the channel. Aaron Rodgers is back for 2 years. We shall see what the future holds. And one thing we forgot about is we got 3 Jets games left that no one seems to care about. For obvious reasons, we're eliminated. I'll catch you guys later. Let's go, Jets. Peace.